It's Room 442 once again. Another week, everyone. So it's our Friday roundtable. Big news, by the way, from Barcelona. First thing this morning, Sarah, Gerard Piqué is going to retire from football, not just from Barca, but from football at the World Cup break. His last game at home this weekend against Almeria. This is a legend. How surprised are you that it's happening mid-season?
Yeah, definitely surprised it's mid-season. I think we all knew it was going to come at the end of this year. You know, there was talk, speculation. It was building up. His, playing time has obviously decreased and all of that. But the fact that it's happening mid-season draws a lot of questions. Whether the club was kind of pushing him out. What's his relationship with Xavi now? Xavi came out and spoke and said, I can understand why he's doing it, but kind of at the same time, he is leaving mid-season. There seemed to be a few comments Xavi made that had me wondering what their relationship is like. Also, is Piqué, just kind of acting out and saying, well, listen, I'm not getting playing time. We're not playing well. What's the point? I'm just going to leave them high and dry. I think there is a lot going on here that we haven't necessarily figured out yet, but I am upset to see it unfolding the way it is.
Is it a coincidence that it's happening before the January transfer window? Because we know Piqué's wages, it's a lot, and I knew he was under contract for an additional season beyond this season. We know by Barcelona's financial situation. Is it a coincidence?
He gave up 30 million euros back to the club, so they didn't have to pay him out that. But I can't see Piqué going. I think he's retiring from football. There are certain players that never leave, and I know he had his career at Liverpool, but United. But he grew up at La Masia. He is the epitome of Barcelona. I think this is really him, closing the door.
Well, he said in his statement, how he is all Barcelona. He can now be a fan. He can let his family, be fans of this team. But there's obviously some issues above him at the board level. Are they forcing him out? There's lots of rumors about him one day being the president of Barcelona. He's a very politically charged footballer as well. But bottom line is, one of the greatest centre-backs in Barca history, won a lot of trophies. Sad to see him go, but, age gets to us all. Trust me. You'll find out one day. Mikey, you're dropping another article on room442.com today, and for TFC fans, this could be potentially some pretty huge news.
Yeah, so what I can tell you is Toronto FC are going to be busy this off-season, but there will be probably an added item to their agenda, and it's that it's looking like Mimo Criscito is leaning towards retiring. I know he's contemplating concerning his future, and it's just been 4 months since he joined the Reds. When you spend your entire life overseas, right, in Europe, and then you make the move over to North America, there's a lot of adjustments, and it's a different lifestyle. Do you know what's happening in MLS? Do you know everything that goes on with that? Do you know what's happening with TFC? Are you okay with the squad rebuilding a little bit? There are a lot of question marks. And also, he has a family, right? Did his family settle in well with him as well? And at his point in his career, I think he's asking himself if it's worth it to play out another season, because he is under contract for 1 more year. So, he's considering retirement, and I'd say he's leaning towards it at this point.
More will be divulged in the article on room442.com later this Friday, but he's got so much game left. I mean, that would be incredible, but hey, personal choice.
Loss, yeah.
We'll see. A huge loss for TFC, absolutely. All right, let's move on now to one of my favorite parts of the week, because we get to just say how we know nothing about football. Predict the headlines we're going to see in the papers on Monday. Albert, let's start with you. Predict a headline we're going to see.
All right, Jesse Martin. No, I'm just kidding. No. This time I'm going with, I forgot what I wrote, Unai of the Storm. Emery to get his first win.
You know what? You were working so hard.
I really was.
And that actually isn't bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, the new manager bounce, that whole thing, Unai going into Aston Villa, the last home game at Villa Park against United before the World Cup. New manager, the crowd's going to be rocking. I just think that if there's a chance for them to upset United, it's now.
New manager bounce. What do you think about that? Your boys, United, being embarrassed by Villa under Unai Emery.
I feel pretty confident based on Albert's track record.
Yeah,
we're going to be going the
basically,
other way.
United doing
So please, thank you for saying that.
But in fairness, I look at Villa's starting 11. It's pretty decent. They've had some good performances. Didn't work for Stevie G, and in Unai Emery, they have we said before on this very show, one of the most respected managers in the world is being quite the get for that club.
I think it's a good
Good shot.
evaluation. I don't know. I think the new manager bounce is what'll get them. Will it give them that motivation? And they're at home. And the thing is with United, they're looking good right now, but I still you never know with United.
Pep Guardiola said they're back. Pep said that.
Yeah, Pep says a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, Pep says it, then it must be real. Sarah, what's your headline we're going to see on Monday morning?
Arrivederci Allegri. Juventus are going to lose to Inter this weekend, drop down to now 8th or 9th place, depending on the rest of the table. And they're finally going to sack Allegri because Juventus are in shambles. They are all over the place. They cannot win a match. They're out of Champions League. They're out of contention for Champions League and Europa League in the Serie A right now as it stands. They're doing terribly. And I think if they lose to Inter, huge Serie A match, we see him go.
We talk about a manager who's been hanging on for dear life by a thread. I thought Jesse Marsch was in trouble. But Allegri, jeez.
It just hasn't worked, the return.
No.
He did so well the first time around, but that was a different Serie A.
Yeah, it was a different Juventus.
It was
different
very
Juventus.
different.
Right? They were hoping, they were leaning on Pogba and Di Maria, who both haven't really played.
Haven't played, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's too bad because you see these managers with great esteem and legacy at a club go back, and it just falls apart. So what's the legacy going to be now? Oh, he wasn't that good after all. Can they afford to fire him though? That's the question, right? They've got no money right now.
Yeah.
Some big money, but we'll see on Monday morning, won't we? Mikey?
So I'm going to say MLS Cup champions, Philadelphia Union win their first MLS Cup.
Wow,
they
big.
take on LAFC this weekend, of course. Massive match because these are two sides that come from different sort of backgrounds. LAFC have spent a ton of money. They brought in some really big names. They may not contribute over the weekend, but they're still on the roster. While Philadelphia has done this a rather untraditional route. They've developed a lot of homegrowns, and that have led them to this point. They have one of the cheapest rosters in Major League Soccer, and they've put together one of the best seasons ever. So I think they'll cap it off with an MLS Cup this weekend.
What does MLS want? What does Don Garber want?
Definitely LAFC.
With Gareth Bale to score the winner.
Exactly.
He came out and said yesterday that he would, surprise, surprise, love to see Lionel Messi in Major League Soccer.
Really? Now, why would he say that? Jeez, I tell you.
I wonder.
All right, my headline for Monday morning would be Mane's Mersey beat. Right? So the Champions League draw goes on Monday morning, right? And at Mr. Chip is a great follow on Twitter, by the way. Far smarter than I'll ever be. He's put together some probabilities of the most likely matchups in the round of 16 draw. And Bayern Munich and Sadio Mane against Liverpool, Merseyside, Mersey, is the most probable matchup we're going to see. 39% chance, almost 40% chance we're going to see that on Monday. So Mane back to Anfield. Now, I'll use that same headline, Mane's Mersey beat, twice more if that draw is made, because it's a great headline. Let's be honest, right? You know what Mersey beat is, right? You don't know, do you?
No,
I knew you wouldn't know.
I have no idea.
Do you know what it is?
No idea.
I connected Merseyside.
Mersey beat is
Where's
What is it?
it's a musical style from Merseyside and Liverpool.
Oh.
You people make me sick. Just make me sick.
I should have known from like the 17 times we've been to Liverpool.
Just Google it. Mersey beat. It's a great headline.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be a great matchup.
But
though,
I
really.
didn't realize that Bayern can only draw 4 teams.
Yeah, I know.
that's
It's interesting,
why.
eh?
Bayern, Liverpool.
It's not good for your Reds, James.
You never know.
I'm not concerned one bit. All right, we should move on. Later today, we'll reconvene on these couches and talk Bert's brain busters. So I've got to get the brain part right. I always want to go a different direction there, but brain busters. But when we come back, though, it's going to be rapid fire. Every Premier League game on the weekend, your odds and who you take. Time now to break down each and every match from the Premier League this weekend. The penultimate weekend before the great lockdown. Sorry, too soon? Albert and Sarah are back with me, and let's start with Albert and the team he's been writing off all season, Jesse Marsch's Leeds against Bournemouth. But
I've been betting against Leeds all season with the expectation that Jesse Marsch would get the sack early. That hasn't happened. Instead, Marsch had his men pull off a shocker at Anfield to keep his job, and I think they've turned a corner. This match against Bournemouth is the perfect follow-up to last weekend. The Cherries had a bit of a resurgence under Gary O'Neill, but that's died out, losing their last 3 matches. On top of that, this will be the last home game for Leeds before the World Cup, which is a huge edge for them. A rocking Ellen Road after beating Liverpool will be too much for Bournemouth. Back Leeds to win.
How about that Rico Lewis? Just 17 years of age and scored an equalizer in his debut for City in the Champions League match against Sevilla midweek. Julian Alvarez and Riyad Mahrez scored, making it 3-1 for City, and now the citizens welcome Fulham to the Etihad. The big question remains, will Haaland be match fit? It looks like yes, which is not good news for Fulham. City are on a 14-game winning streak on home soil. They've also scored 3 or more goals in all of these matches but 1. Listen, City have beaten Fulham in the last 12 matches these two sides have faced one another, and the citizens know that winning will put them at the top of the table before Arsenal takes on Chelsea on Sunday. I feel like a City smashing, but get Fulham to tack one on the board.
Any hopes that Nottingham Forest might have turned the corner after that 1-0 win over Liverpool were quickly put to bed last weekend when Steve Cooper's side crashed back down to earth with a 5-0 loss to Arsenal at the Emirates. But back at the City ground tomorrow, Forest will face a Brentford side who'll be without the suspended Ivan Toney and who haven't won an away game so far this season. The Bees are slight favourites on the day, but Steve Cooper's side have found the net in 5 of their last 6 home games. And with Brentford missing their main striker, I'm taking Forest on the money line at plus 175.
13 matches into the season, and somehow Wolves have only scored 6 goals. This weekend, they welcome Brighton to the Molineux, and I'm all over the under. Why, you might ask? Well, number 1, Wolves can't score, plus there have been fewer than 3 goals in 8 of their Premier League matches. Number 2, Brighton struggles to find the back of the net against teams in the bottom half. All of their meetings against those sides have hit the under, so don't complicate this one. Under 2.5 goals is the play.
Everton and Leicester go head-to-head this weekend at Goodison Park, where both sides will be looking to bounce back from last weekend, where neither side scored. Frank Lampard's men sit mid-table and have only conceded fewer goals than Man City, Newcastle, and Arsenal with 12 this season. Not bad. Leicester, on the other hand, have the second worst record for conceded goals with 25. But they nearly held City last weekend, losing only 1-0. But get this, Leicester have only won 1 match away from home, and that was to Wolves. This one has to be Everton at home and get them to keep a clean sheet as well with that defensive line.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will face his old club for the first time on Sunday as league leaders Arsenal make the trip across London to take on Chelsea at the Bridge. And last weekend, Graham Potter faced his old club for the first time, with Chelsea running out surprise 4-1 losers away to Brighton. That defeat left Chelsea winless in the last 3 league games, and although Potter's side are unbeaten at home this season, it's hard to bet against the Gunners in this one. Mikel Arteta's side have already beaten 4 London rivals this season, and they've scored in each of their last 5 away games. At plus 170 then, Arsenal on the money line looks like pretty good value to me.
Aston Villa at home to United. This is a complete stay away from me. We won't know what to expect from Villa under Unai Emery taking charge of his first match since coming over from Spain. On the flip side, United is coming off a midweek Europa League match, plus they're too short at even money to be backed for an away win. If anything, I would have a small wager on Villa to upset United, only because the new manager bounce factor, but that's a shot in the dark.
All right, guys, let's keep this one simple. Southampton are just hovering above relegation, while Newcastle are flying high in 4th and having a cracker of a season. Southampton are at home here, but they have only snagged 1 home victory this season, so that means nothing to me. Go for Newcastle here. With Southampton unable to score in 5 matches this season and Newcastle keeping a clean sheet in 6 matches this season, get the Magpies to keep a clean sheet as well.
The other London derby this weekend features West Ham and Crystal Palace, 2 sides struggling for consistency and bouncing around the bottom half of the table. Palace beat Southampton last weekend, but they've failed to win back-to-back games so far this season. And while West Ham arrive on the back of a 1-0 loss away to Manchester United last weekend, David Moyes' side have put together a decent record at home, winning each of the last 3 games at the London Stadium. The points were shared on both the last 2 occasions West Ham played host to Palace, so I'm taking the draw here as well at plus 240.
History tells us that Spurs v Liverpool should be a fiery encounter with lots of goals. It also tells us that Liverpool should win this game. They've won 4 of the last 6 against Tottenham. Not bad. However, Liverpool hasn't won an away fixture in the Prem all season, plus their form has been up and down throughout the campaign. As for Spurs, you can't trust them. You never know what version of them you're going to get, and they have a slew of injuries. Son, Richarlison, and Christian Romero are all out. So what's the play? Well, it's definitely to stay away from picking a side. Instead, back goals. Neither side can keep a clean sheet, so go with over 2.5 goals and both teams to score.
Welcome back. Time now for Bert's Brain Busters. No pressure, everyone, but I am the defending champion. I'm in the host chair. I am the host, but I will allow Albert to take over the show from this point forward, okay?
You guys
take it away, Bertie.
So the rules, you got to guess the player. I'm going to give you hints. If you shout out a name and it's wrong, you're out for that question or for that hint or whatever, however this goes. So let's start. Let's get right into it.
All right,
Ready?
Robin.
I hate this.
No.
Is he out?
I'm out.
He's out. All right, ready? I started my career with Stuttgart. Mohamed Salah and Alisson were my teammates, but I never played for Liverpool. Chelsea bought me from Roma. I won the Europa League and Champions League with Chelsea. Uh-oh. Nothing? I played for Real Madrid.
Chelsea?
I'm German.
Rudiger.
Hey, Mikey, Antonio Rudiger.
You won the Europa League and the
Put everything
Champions
on
League.
his silver
Did you
platter.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right,
We're so bad at this.
ready? I was born in Rosario, Argentina. I've been linked with a move to MLS.
Leo Messi.
No. I played club football in Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, and England.
Angel Di Maria.
Mikey is on fire.
Off to a great start.
Well done. All right. I've played with Thiago Silva and Paul Pogba. I won the Golden Boot in Italy and France. I'm currently PSG's all-time top scorer.
Edison Cavani.
Hey, I didn't think Cavani.
Cavani.
Well
I heard
done.
that.
Oh, I
That
want
was
to keep
past
the
week.
cards.
I thought this was going to be hard for you guys. Look at
No,
this.
give me
Okay,
the
ready?
South American tree.
I played for Milan, Lille, Monaco, and Barcelona, to name a few. You wouldn't have guessed it, but my teammates at Milan were Ronaldo, original Ronaldo, Maldini, and Nesta. Jurgen Klopp was my manager.
Was my manager.
I never played for Liverpool, but I play in the Premier League.
So was it Mainz or Dortmund?
Chelsea bought me from Barcelona. I like to wear
No.
No, that's what that's.
I like to wear masks.
Michy Batshuayi.
No.
Oh
No,
no.
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang.
You said it.
No, you said. No, he said. And he
No,
stopped.
no. We were on the same. Why did we not think it was?
All right, next. I play with one of the players already mentioned. I played one season for Groningen before moving to Ajax. Christian Eriksen.
Virgil van Dijk.
No. Christian Eriksen, Toby Alderweireld, and Jan Vertonghen were my teammates.
No.
I scored my first Premier League hat-trick against Norwich.
Oh, Suarez.
Luis Suarez. James, well
He
done.
crushed Norwich every time. he played
Every
them.
time.
Yeah.
Next one.
The
I've
score,
won
by
the...
the way, is it
Oh, yeah, what is
2-2-1?
the score?
It's 2-2-1.
Okay. I've won the Champions League, World Cup, and Euro Cup. Me, Mohamed Salah, Samuel Eto'o, and David Luiz played on the same team.
Azpilicueta.
No. I spent most of my career in the Premier League, but I now play in Turkey. I played for Mourinho at Chelsea and Manchester United. No.
So Mourinho and United he played for?
I played for
Matic?
Mourinho at Chelsea and United.
Matic. I'm out.
We're all
What'd you say? I
out.
said Matic.
We're all
No,
out.
I'm considered to be one of the nicest guys in football. I'm Spanish. Juan Mata. Okay, ready? I was teammates with Bruno Fernandes before he played for Manchester United. Huh?
I was just saying.
I won the
Bruno
Portuguese.
Fernandes?
I won the Portuguese Cup with Sporting. Sporting.
Sporting?
I played a season for Rennes before moving to the Premier League. The gasps. You got a guess?
No.
This next one. I played under Bielsa and Jesse Marsh.
Rafinha.
Rafinha, boom. That's 3?
3. What do you want? You're on 1, you're on 2 still.
So 3, 2, 1. I won the Champions League with Liverpool. I've won the Premier League and Eredivisie. I'm a former Dutch footballer of the year. I played with Mitrovic and Ivan Toney, but I was a top scorer on our team. No? Liverpool bought me from Newcastle.
Come on, you know this. Come on.
I'm sure we do.
It's
in
killing
there.
me. Can I get a half point?
Mourinho is now my manager.
Okay. I can get there.
I have one more guess.
Okay.
Or
You
hint.
know this one. You both know this.
I've also played with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe.
See, that threw me. I feel like I was on the road.
I'll be playing at the World Cup with Holland.
There.
Holland! I
It's
play for Roma. That's the last hint I
Oh,
can give.
no, it's not. Oh, I have no clue actually.
This is disappointing. You're letting me down.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
That's all I got, man.
Who the heck plays on Norway beside Martin Odegaard?
It's so obvious when you hear it.
I'm going to give you 5
Odegaard?
seconds. Ready?
He plays for
5.
Wijnaldum?
There you go. Genie
There you go.
Ronaldo.
Nice
Mikey.
one.
So
Pulled
we
it
got
up.
3
Oh.
Yep.
and 1.
Yeah.
All right, the last one is 3-3 between you guys. Sarah is out, but if you guys fail to guess, she can guess. Ready? Dun, dun, dun. Guess the career path of this player, starting with Sporting, Barcelona, Porto,
Deco.
no, Inter Milan,
That was-
Chelsea, Besiktas, Al Ali, Porto, Besiktas, Vitória Guimarães.
Played
Yeah.
for 17 different teams.
I can give you a hint. You want me to repeat them?
Play
you
for
repeat
Bruno
that?
Guimaraes.
Bruno Guimaraes.
You want me to-
Yeah, repeat that.
All right, he
Repeat that?
started at Sporting, then went to Barcelona, Porto, Inter, Chelsea, Besiktas, Al Ali, Porto, Besiktas, and Vitória Guimarães.
Deco was a pretty good guess, though, actually.
That was a good
It wasn't a
guess.
bad guess.
He played for a bunch of them.
30 seconds left. He won the Euro Cup with Portugal.
Again, Deco was the one. But I think
He's retired from the national team.
I know who it is, but I could be wrong. Probably am wrong.
He scores his goals in a very iconic way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sarah, do you have any guesses? Ricardo Quaresma!
Of course it was Quaresma, that's
played
right.
for all those teams.
He went everywhere.
He's still playing.
He was on loan at Chelsea for 4 games.
He's in Guimaraes now?
He doesn't. Well, I don't know if he's retired. He's just not picked, but I'm pretty
He could have
sure.
been so good.
I
know.
thought he.
All right,
I
I'm
thought it was someone.
Pretty sure Sean
old.
says we have.
Yeah, we gotta go. So, well, we drew
Another
again.
draw.
Oh.
Congratulations.
So I'm still the holdover defending champion. Sarah, keep trying.
Yeah,
all I can
no,
say,
that's it for me.
That's fun though. All right, this is Room 442. We are back next week, getting really into our World Cup top
Yes, sir.
gear. Yes, a lot on Canada and the other 31 teams, but they're not that important. All right, have a great weekend and cheers for watching.